Right, hey guys, it is TsubakiSwagg and I'm coming to you with my review of Terraformars episode 9, A Single Drop from a Thunderstorm. This episode, oh my gosh, it made my heart cry out to Adolf, because Adolf is just so freaking awesome. And that girl did not deserve him in the slightest, like none whatsoever, and he's still thinking about her, which makes it even worse. And like throughout the whole episode they showed the little baby crying and her cheating on him with his man, and just Adolf deserves so much better than that. Like, I feel like a friend telling my friend that you deserve so much better, but he really did deserve so much better than that woman, because that woman did not deserve him in the slightest. Because Adolf is awesome and he's so sweet, and like he even loves animals. He's just a regular person, he just looks different. I mean, most people when they first see something like that, they probably would freak out, but you can't prejudge a book by its cover, because even those like people like that can be the most awesome person you've ever met in your life, but you wouldn't know if you didn't talk to him, which was what she did. But she just, if she was real, I would punch her in her face, because she is just, that was horrible. And she, like I said, she does not deserve Adolf. But anyways, I'm done with my rant. So in this episode, we see, like, it picks up where the last one left off at, where they were surrounded by the roachmen in that crater. And Adolf, like, he's still thinking about her. He's still thinking about this woman that broke his heart and cheated on him and had a baby by the man. So that's just horrible. But they have showed more in depth, like them having sex and all that kind of stuff. It threw me off a little bit. But while this was happening, Adolf was fighting these roachmen. Adolf is just so freaking amazing. I didn't even know he was ranked number 2. So that means that there's only one other person above him in all of the Bugs program, and I think that's the commander. So Adolf is pretty much second in command, and he deserves that spot. He's just so freaking awesome. His power is amazing, and the fact that he can conduct electricity himself is so freaking awesome. Oh my god, I don't know who I want to pick as my favorite, because there are so many awesome people in this show. But anyways, while all this was happening, Adolf was fighting, and he started losing his stamina, and then Isabella is almost like Chi2 all over again from Hunter x Hunter. Like, she looked like she was about to go in, and then she was gone. Like, I had to rewind it and rewatch that part, because I didn't understand what had just happened. I was prepared for her to go in. I was like, okay, we're gonna see Isabella fight, because in the last episode they only showed like a glimpse of her, and then you could hear her fighting, but they never actually showed her fight. And I was like, yes, we're probably going to see her power. We're going to see her fight. They showed her power, and then she was gone. She was out like a light. Like, it was literally in the blink of an eye. I was not prepared. I was not prepared for that in the slightest. So yeah, that sucked. But this episode, Adolf went in. Like, he literally went in, and he was taking out roachmen left and right. And then while he was doing all this, he kept thinking about that woman. He was thinking about all the good and the bad times together, and he was thinking about, like, when they were sitting on the bench one day and all the dogs came around him, like all the animals came around him, and she was like, do you like animals? And he was like, yeah, I love them. And he kept showing, like, him petting this dog, and the dog looking so happy to be around him. And it's just, Adolf is so freaking amazing. How can you treat somebody like that? But while this was happening, I'll call him Roachman Jesus. Roachman Jesus came up out of nowhere with his lazy eye. It was slightly unnerving, but the Roachmen in general are slightly unnerving. So he came up out of nowhere and was pretty much leading them and telling them to attack, and Adolf was pretty much out of juice. He was laid out on the ground, and then when they were about to attack, I cannot remember her name. The girl was holding him up, and everybody else got out of the ship and started helping, and they were dying for him. And he saw this, and then they showed, like, if you have a will to live, then you'll live. And he got struck by lightning, And then we see him standing up, which threw me off a little. See him standing up, and he inhaled a whole bunch of medicine. And like all of the conductors popped off, like all the tops popped off the conductors on him, and he went off. And literally, like, he took out all the most of the roaches. And saved everybody, because everybody, after they got attacked, they were being put in nets. They got the net launchers that, I guess from one of the groups that they killed off, they got the net launchers and were catching the people, which was kind of scary. They're catching the people, and they were about to take them away, and Adolf just electrocuted all of them. It was awesome. So after that, like, he tried to kill Roachman Jesus, and he threw two, they look like kunais. They look like kunais with conductors on them. He threw two kunais, and he was about to kill him, and then he starts talking about Moses, and that threw me off a little bit. I was like, okay, Adolf, you know about the Bible, and then you gonna flick somebody off, really? But he gave Roachman Jesus the bird, and then blew him up. But it was awesome. This episode was so freaking awesome. I was so freaking hurt. I was like, no, Adolf cannot die. I want Adolf to be here, because he was just so awesome. So I was really hurt seeing that Adolf died. But I mean, it seems like everybody's dying right now. So, and then they showed credits, and they just showed like them panning across the ground, and they saw one kunai sticking in the ground, and then that was pretty much it. But this episode was so freaking amazing. Like, I teared up a little bit. I'm tearing up now because it's horrible, because I want Adolf to still be here, because he's just that awesome. But as always, I'd love to hear how you guys felt about this episode. This episode was so freaking awesome. This just the feels in this episode. I'm not prepared for Adolf to not be here anymore, and he needs to go to that girl and pretty much tell her F you, because you didn't deserve me, before he dies. But it looks like that's not going to happen. So, as always, please remember to comment, thumbs up, and subscribe. It helps me out a whole lot. And this is TsubakiSwagg saying adios.